Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the Horowitz, NIDCHEI YISRAEL. The Horowitz is teaching us about the unfortunate history of Klal Yisrael, that we wander from place to place, from country to country, from nation to nation, and we face more than any other people in the entire history of the world the backlash of all of the enemies and the nations that we come to be a part of. We never found anyone like Klal Yisrael that has been plundered and beaten, and inquisitions and pogroms and crusades and holocaust. Nobody like Klal Yisrael has ever endured what we have endured, which is obviously a sign from the Rabbi Shalom that there's a very unique yet tenuous relationship that we share with Hashem that no other nation in the world shares. And that is that when we are doing Ritzay Neshamak and we're doing what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, we're living a life of Torah and of mitzvahs, we are behaving ourselves, acting the way that Yidden, that Jews are supposed to be. So then that will bring us forth the bracha, that will bring our safety, that will bring us protection from the enemies that might be swarming around us like a pack of wolves by the sheep. However, once that a Yid begins to stumble, and they fall, and they stray from the path where they are supposed to be, and they do it all with conviction that what they are doing is right, and they have nothing to be held accountable for, that is when the enemies that we are living amongst them turn against us. That is when the inquisitions begin. That is when suddenly people that we thought were our friends, they become our greatest enemies, and the deterrent to our growth and moving forward in this world, and they hurt us, chas v'chalila, and they can really do damage to Klal Yisrael. All of that is because when a Jew begins to leave the path of Yiddishkeit, of mitzvahs, of Torah, the way that he should, so he brings about a scrutinizing eye from the Rabbi Shalom. And this, says the Chavetz Chaim today, is like this. A person thinks that Hashem is not really watching over his actions. I could do whatever is good in my eyes. Whatever I feel like, whatever mood I'm in, that's what I'm going to do today. His punishment is going to be his property is going to get looted and plundered. A person begins acting in a way that is antithetical to what it says in the Torah, because he doesn't believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is watching over him. Hashem is too busy. Little old me, down here in this corner of the world, does HaKadosh Baruch Hu really care? There's much more things. There's a war going on right now in the Middle East. Hashem is much busier with that. There's political tension all over the world. Hashem is much busier with that. There's a lot of people that are poor, and they're starving, and they're suffering, and they're very sick, and nobody knows what's going to be from one minute to the next. Hashem has what to take care of. But little old me over here, in this small town where I'm doing my thing, whatever I want to do, does HaKadosh Baruch Hu really watch over me? The answer is yes, He really does, says the Chavetz Chaim. There's a pasuk in Sefanya Hanovi that says, "Upakadati al anoshim hakoifim al shimreim." I have reckoned and taken retribution against those people that are confident on their actions. They say in their hearts, Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't really do good to those people that follow in His ways. And He doesn't do bad to those that are transgress His ways. However, their wealth is going to turn to spoils, and their houses are going to be desolate. They will build homes, but they will never dwell there. Says the Chavetz Chaim, you have to see what the reality is, and that is that if, in fact, you are doing the right thing, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is paying good attention, and He will reward you. And Chalile, a person is doing the wrong thing, Hashem is paying close attention, and there will be punishments. And that's the mistake that people make when they go into the Gullus, when they go into the exile and they become too comfortable in the lands that they are in. They begin to think to themselves, Hashem doesn't really care so much. He's not really watching me so much. He's not paying attention to every single detail that I do, and then from one mistake to another, I begin loosening up the reins on my mitzvahs and my Torah and my tefillah and everything. And Hashem says, I'm not watching, I am watching. I see exactly what you're doing, and I'm going to deal with it accordingly. We have to be Zeicha and Yitz Hashem to keep the idea that the Ayin Raya, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's watchful eye is always upon us. Even in the far-flung corners of America where a person might find themselves, Hashem is watching. And Hashem is waiting to see us act in the precious and the glorious way of Klal Yisrael for all generations. And in that zechus, not only is He not going to punish us, but Be'ez Hashem, He's going to reward us with great rewards in this world and the world to come. Be'ez Hashem. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.